Alright, what is up, support players? It's your boy Speed, fellow support player. I actually do play a lot of support. I really enjoy this role, but in this video, that's not what we're going to be talking about. Not my love for support. We're going to be going over warding with a purpose. Now, I think a lot of players, they buy the observer wards, and they kind of just chuck them down, right? They don't really understand what they're doing. It's just kind of like a, I don't know. It's just a mess. So I'm going to be trying to give you some structure. I'm going to explain where you should be warding, why you should be warding, what you should consider when you're warding, and basically just the steps to understand what purposeful warding, but more importantly actually dewarding, is for. So here we're going to be looking at Lelis, rank 17 player, playing support here, and basically he plays the laning stage fantastically. I think his mechanics are fantastic, but what really impressed me in this game was his warding, so let's look at that. So the first wards that he actually buys are around the 4-minute and 50-second mark. And what's important to note about this is that often, I'm sure a lot of you 5 players understand or feel that you buy the early wards, but it's very hard to get them down in useful locations. So what is a play that you can make in order to actually make your life kind of easy in terms of that? Well, here he spends all of his regen and all of his mana previous to the 5-minute mark, around the 4-minute mark. And what does that set up for? This fantastic play where he picks up the bounty runes and denies himself. So he denies himself to tier 3. I think he was afraid of Pudge being in XP range. And then what does he do? He checks mid, sees if there's a kill, obviously pings the Pudge, and then TP's mid. And this is fantastic for warding, right? Because it's a very natural state of flow where he doesn't have to walk all the way mid and then walk all the way back bottom. He denies himself, gets full resources, prevents a gank, and more importantly, gets down a ward at the 5-minute mark. And why is this so important at this game? 2 things. It just hit nighttime, so there's less vision, and there's an enemy Pudge. Pudge wants to roam and go for the drow, especially during nighttime. So this is a fantastic ward as is. He's understanding what does the enemy team want to do. They want to gank my drow, right? You look at the 2 enemy team comps. This one has to put a little bit of pace. They have a drow and PL late game, even Necro late game. They don't want to have to deal with that. They want to put up pressure, so Pudge needs to get off to a good start and gank the drow because that's the hero he's going to try to kill this game. Obviously, it's the easiest kill out of any of these heroes by far. So he gets up a perfect ward to get vision, right? Purposeful warding, he understands what the enemy team wants to do and immediately is trying to counter that. So now around the 9-minute mark, he's going to be able to pick up his next set of wards. And let's check what he does here. So he TP's top and immediately tries to go for a D-ward, right? Why is this important? First off, he's reading what the enemy team is doing. They're blocking Drow's ancient camps, right? As I talked about, what is their team trying to do this game? They're trying to go for a late game timing. Late game timing. What gets you to late game? Gold, XP, and scaling cores. The enemy team blocks the ancient camp. Very smart, right? Because that is Drow's home. Drow's home is the ancients. So he's immediately on top of that. He understands his winning condition is to guarantee Drow farm. This dewards 2 spots. It dewards the ancient camp, which he gets, and it also checks for ward on this hill, which they would place in order to see if Drow is taking ancient so that they can gank her. So that's obviously a really good D-ward. And then he throws up a ward of his own. He realizes there's no vision. Where are they going to gank him from? Pudge wants to walk up, check for Drow with the ancients, and probably get a gank with Storm or Void. This is the important part of the map to secure right now, right? He doesn't have to protect PL. There's a much lower chance they're going to gank PL, high chance they gank Drow, as Drow feeds. But hopefully you kind of get the point. And then he realizes why would Oracle make that play, reads the wording. The best way to actually get D-wards is not to just check every single ward spot, but consider in the back of your mind, what does the enemy team need to do this game? And if their wards are in random spots that don't help them accomplish that, then maybe you won't get the D-wards, but it shouldn't matter. As long as you're understanding and constantly thinking about what they're trying to do, you're going to be able to control the map for your team. So here he puts a lot of priority around securing the ancient farming area for his drow. So I just want to kind of go over the main point, right? Because I think I'm kind of mixing in like individual plays with the overall concepts, and let's just hash out basically what are the main ideas you want to have in your mind when warding. A few things. What are your timings? What are your timings in the game? When is your team most powerful? This is so important because if you don't understand this, your words are going to have no purpose. Now, in this game in particular, I think if you were to look at it, you could tell what is the timing. And now I already mentioned it, right? It's late game. They have Drow PL, 2 very good late game cores. Of course, the enemy team has Storm and Void, but the thing is they also have like very good team fight in their other heroes. Basically, they need to go for late game. They have very good scaling heroes, even Shadow Demon and Earthshaker. So in order to protect them, because they can't make plays in addition, right? They can't make plays around the map because they don't have a Shaker Blink. They have 2 cores who don't want to fight, and Necro doesn't gank. They can't make plays. So what is a logical course of action to secure your side of the map, right? To secure farm. If you can't make plays, you're defending farm. Sometimes as a support player, you have to admit, okay, I can't actually, as he gets a fantastic deward, I can't actually make plays this game. I need to just secure farm by either pushing out waves and securing vision for my team. So here, another fantastic deward. Understands they want to pressure PL at some point and checks the area. Sentry ward here, sentry ward there, right? These are very common ward spots. These hills, this hill, and this hill. Very, very common. But right, his purpose is understanding that he needs to secure farm. Now we're going to look at his wards in a second. And look at this. You can just look at the wards. Ready? On the minimap, ward, 1 top, 1 mid, 1 bottom, 1 bottom. And if you look where they are, in a straight line across the river. Now, is this optimal? It's hard to know. It's really hard to know. But what I can say is it has purpose. It has a lot of purpose. His wards are placed and primarily focused on guaranteeing that if the enemy team tries to invade his jungle, they're going to be able to TP and fight there very effectively and as fast as possible. Because Shadow Demon and Earthshaker are 2 supports who want to be farming. They want to be getting levels, so they don't want to have to just sit behind their cores. It's very inefficient for them to do that. And as a result, having up defensive wards basically it acts as a decoy that allows you to stand there. So now, this doesn't have to do exactly with warding, but it just kind of goes with my point of understanding your purpose in the game. So here he has no TP, and immediately, even though the tower's low, he decides to throw out shadow poisons in an attempt to defend the tower. Like, I don't think most players who do this, they would have tried to run away. He did have a gap to leave, like he wasn't stuck there previously, but he understands his purpose this game, right? If he defends towers, the game is naturally going to stall. The game's going to stall, right? So he's just buying time. Who cares that he dies? It's 193 gold, means nothing. Now, I don't think his other characters had to come, his other heroes. I think Necro could have stayed top, but the point is, his whole play, including his wards, are designed, right? Look how cool this is. He knows he's protecting farm, so he sees if they can invade after taking the tower, and he sees if they're going to TP. But his whole play is designed around protecting his jungle. He's going to protect towers. He defended mid earlier. He defended bottom. He TP'd top to help out. Basically, constantly defending towers and using vision, like, see, can't invade, to prevent them from shutting down this late game timing that they have. Or at least mid game timing, right? When Drow and PL both have an item at the least. Once again, I just want to kind of point this out. This is just kind of a more, I guess it's more of a general supporting guide than purely warding, but the thing is, this is just such an important concept where wards are not purely for vision. They're also to help you play around how you want to play. They allow you to understand your purpose, right? If you have good direction with your wards, your play is going to be able to, like your team's play is going to be able to shape itself around your wards and basically teach you about how you want the game to be played and how you should be playing. And you notice, now if you look at his team, level 11 PL, nearly level 12 Drow, level 12 Storm, but then the rest of the course, 9, just way behind. Sure, the Necro's not that caught up either, but I think that's mostly a result of him playing poorly. I'm going to be wrapping up the video shortly, but once again, nothing really changes about his wards or his play. He doesn't even do anything crazy this game. This is a rank 17 player. Rank 17. And this play might not seem that complicated, right? There's only so much you can do in Dota, especially as a support in games like this, where your team can't make any plays. But you notice, once again, another ward protects the important objectives of the game, guarantees that they can take a good Roche fight, and protects the triangle, scouts out for Roche, because he understands what is the next important objective in this game. Roshan, once again, warding to understand your objective. If you can get this down as a support player, it is not only going to help your warding, but it's going to help you understand Dota as a whole, right? Sets up another kill, but right, like this whole game, it's just such a cool display of Dota that stems from his warding. Like, you can tell all these plays and everything he does is just based around these wards, right? He goes top, places a ward, then plays top. He goes bottom, places bottom wards, defends bottom. It's all structured around his warding. There's never a time in this game where it's like, oh, he's quote-unquote going to ward. No, he's going bottom, let him throw down some wards, or he's going to secure top, let me check one down by Roche. You know, it's very structured and efficient. And that's kind of the difference between a high MMR support and a low MMR support. Their warding has flow to it. Basically, even their dewarding has flow. He had a ward on that cliff, which I think is fine there. It's a little bit predictable, but you have to understand, they want to defend top for as long as possible so that PL can farm bottom. Notice this. Just look at what happens here. They get a deward top, but the point of the ward is to protect this exact setup, where they can fight top and let the PL farm bottom. Gets a deward, constantly protecting his team. It's just such smart Dota, so I really want to show this replay to you guys. I thought it was a fantastic example that I recently went over with a coaching student, and I even learned a lot from him. Like, this was really not completely eye-opening to me, as I've seen a lot of these comps before, but just reassuring and just kind of cool to watch someone so talented play the support role. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully this gave you some new ideas on warding. And just before we end off the video, I'm going to leave you with a few kind of like recap notes. Basically, if your team is trying to farm and go for the late game, your wards should be placed defensively and probably across the river to suspect for ganks. If your team needs to apply tempo, if you need to be ganking, you should look to smoke or just run into the enemy jungle and get down deep vision, such as you know what the Oracle did this game, right? He placed it on the Drowse camps, he blocked ancient camps, he placed them deep in the PL jungle. Sure, they got dewarded, but at least he has the right idea. You're going to be placing aggressive vision to match your aggressive playstyle. And then finally, play around objectives and ward towards objectives. If you're going to be taking Roche, you should throw down a ward by Roche. If you're going to be defending the tier 1 top, or you think that's an important objective, go top, and on your way there, throw down a ward. You don't have to preemptively read the whole game. Now, there's a lot of other minute situations of warding that I didn't necessarily go into in this video, and maybe I'll cover in the future, but the general concepts are not that crazy. You just place wards based on what is important for you in the game. So hopefully that clarifies some things for all you support players, and this is a fantastic replay that is a great example. In fact, I will definitely post the ID down in the link below because this is such a great game. But if you enjoyed, please do like and subscribe, and of course I'll see you in the next episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, but before I leave you, I just want to let you know and remind you that over at gameleap.com we have thousands and thousands of guides made just like this one by top tier pros so that you can learn the game of Dota in depth and gain MMR as fast as possible.